Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Further Review Podcast. I'm your host, Devin.
I'm Steven.
Today we're going to be discussing what's going on in the NBA world. 2 nights ago, some crazy events transpired, Steve.
The Clippers lost. What are we talking about here?
We're talking about the Clippers.
All right, the Clippers. We can talk about the Clippers. Let me tell you a little
That
something.
rocked the world.
Let me tell you a little something about the Clippers. Paul George is in it. Here's my thoughts. No, it's no one on the team right now. They need something else. Paul George is not a playoff player, clearly. I like Paul George. I'm a big Paul George guy.
What you're saying is they need another piece?
I think they need a different superstar.
Than who? Why?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Call me crazy. But Giannis is supposed to have 1 more year left in Milwaukee. They do a little sign and trade with the Bucks. The Bucks get Paul George.
Oh, my God.
And the Clippers get Giannis. But the thing is, the Clippers don't have the picks right now.
Would the Bucks go for that, though?
I don't know, but here's what I'm thinking.
Giannis demands a trade.
Well, what I'm thinking is they trade for Paul George, get picks. But the thing is, the Clippers don't have picks.
Clippers have nothing to give.
Yeah, they would need to acquire picks.
Everything.
They would need to acquire picks, which it's not hard to get picks.
It's not hard to get picks, but like Steve Ballmer, he kind of put himself in a situation.
I know, but here's my thinking. You get the picks, you trade them to Milwaukee, you get Giannis. Giannis and Kawhi, that's 30 right there.
Giannis and Kawhi is 10 championships.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who's beating that.
That's the greatest duo of all time.
Exactly. So I don't know who's beating that. And then the Bucks will just blow up Paul George, Chris Middleton, get rid of them all and rebuild. Yeah, but
rebuild.
Yeah, going back to the Clippers, Paul George has shown before in regular circumstances that he just doesn't show up in the playoffs.
Hey, but what about that Pacers series? Series back in 2014.
He was good on the Pacers, but like ever since he left the Pacers, even his last year with the Pacers, I saw this stat. I think he shot 5 for 21 or something in the elimination game.
Oh,
his final
I know
game
what you're talking about.
with the Pacers.
He totally choked.
And then he never showed up with the Thunder in the playoffs, and he hasn't showed up with the Clippers in the playoffs. And so that's 4 years in a row pretty much where he's just not showing up.
This guy
is playing shots off the side of the backboard.
He's playing in an open gym. There's no one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No
There's
fans.
no people screaming at him, and he's still breaking off the side of the backboard.
Exactly. No one to distract him.
In Game 7.
No one to distract him at all. It's Game 7. You have to come up big. You're up 3-1. You have 3 chances to pull it out, and you can't do any of them. Something's going on. Something's wrong. Especially the Nuggets. Murray and Jokic are good, but they're nowhere near the level of where Kawhi and Paul George should be. That should have been over in 6 games maximum, to be honest.
Should have been over in 5.
Yeah. They blew leads in each game. 16, 19, 12. They were up big in each game.
I'm thinking in that series between the Clippers and the Nuggets, that was not Kawhi and Paul George. You know?
No, it really wasn't.
That was Kawhi and maybe like DeMar DeRozan. You know what I mean?
That's a lesser version of DeMar DeRozan.
Exactly. It's like DeMar on a bad night.
Lesser version of playoff DeMar DeRozan, who never showed up with the Raptors.
Yeah, man. Like, all right, we've exhausted the Clippers. You know,
we've exhausted Paul George too much. He's not worth the conversation.
Exactly. He's not worth the time. He's shown over and over again that he's not worth our time.
The best thing going for Paul George right now is his girlfriend.
Yeah, he was talking shit to Dame pre-playoffs, saying you're getting bounced out, and look what happened, buddy.
Yeah, and then Dame and CJ started clapping back as well.
Exactly. Oh my God, they tore him to shreds.
Yeah, they were going ham on Twitter.
They tore him to shreds.
They did tear him to shreds. All right, it was crazy. But if we go back to the Clippers really quick, they should have never blown the 3-1 lead.
Oh,
they should have ended that series. And to be honest, it gets me mad because I waited all year for a Clippers-Lakers conference finals, and it just didn't happen. Yeah, I feel like it.
My bracket is totally
over the summer when AD went to the Lakers, Kawhi and Paul George went to the Clippers. It was supposed to be the battle of LA versus LA, and that just didn't happen because the Clippers choked heavy. Kawhi didn't even play good. I think he had 13 in one of the fourth quarters, but that was his strongest fourth quarter, and he had one with 0, which is just unacceptable, especially in a series that you're supposed to win.
Here's my take: if there's no bubble and there's no coronavirus and everything is normal, then Clippers win that 5 games
against the Nuggets. Yeah, I'd say 5 or 6.
Like that's not even a series.
I don't know if Murray is showing up the way he did in front of a packed arena on a regular
Jamal Murray's only good in the bubble.
Yeah, he was.
Should we move on to Nuggets versus Lakers?
We can move on.
Nice little segue.
We can move on to the Nuggets versus the Lakers right now. So that's going to be happening Friday night. Tomorrow's game 1.
Here's the thing. Jamal Murray is a bum. He is a total bum unless there's no fans. When there's no fans, he can make everything.
All right, but right now Murray is balling, and Jokic is the best center in the league, which kind of scares me because the Lakers are a good team. They got LeBron and AD, but the thing is, I don't really think they're too deep. Some people might think otherwise, but, I mean, Rondo's good in the playoffs, but Kuzma, I don't know. He's very inconsistent, I feel like.
You're forgetting two great men.
Two great men, and who might be forgetting? JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard. I don't see any of them doing anything.
Henny God and Gummy Waiters.
All right, well, Gummy Waiters is barely getting any minutes, and Henny God can't see the floor for more than 4 minutes of the game. So
Vogel it's the secret weapon. It's the ace up the sleeve.
Yeah.
He's going to throw him in. He's going to put him in the starting lineup for Game 7.
Caruso is supposed to be the secret weapon, too, and I don't think any of that's going to happen.
On the real. I do agree that they're not as deep. The Clippers were the deepest team. I thought they were literally going to go all the way and win the championship with ease. Now that didn't happen, it's just, I think there's no way in my mind that the Lakers don't win. But before playoffs, there's no way in my mind that the Clippers don't win. So I just think it's a matter of literally anything can happen.
Because the thing is, to be honest, the Lakers do obviously have the better duo, but the Nuggets are also a very deep team as well. They got Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr.,
they have a lot of good
Plumlee off the bench.
They have a lot of good quality pieces.
They got a good team. They got a good squad, and especially right now, they're playing well together. And I feel like they kind of like being the underdog.
Oh, they have great chemistry. Now more than ever.
And they know the pressure is not on them. They got nothing to lose. Exactly. Really. They've already made it past what people thought they were. They're in the conference finals now. There's nothing to lose for them.
They're a Cinderella story, if anything.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good series. And if it goes to 7, I think the Lakers will still win. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Nuggets did pull some strings and win this series. But I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Here's the thing: LeBron goes off in Game 7. LeBron, or just any elimination game, but LeBron, he puts the team on his back and does whatever he needs to do to win Game 7s. And if it goes to Game 7, I just can't see the Nuggets winning.
Yeah, I definitely have the Lakers in the series in 6 or 7, but I think it will be a competitive series. I think there might be one blowout in the series, but that would be it. And if anything, I feel like the Nuggets would win with a blowout. Instead of winning a close game, I feel like the Nuggets might win a blowout.
If the Nuggets are hitting their threes, they just coast. They're ahead of you.
Exactly.
They're so good at kicking out, finding the open man, and if they're shooting it well.
And they trust everybody, too. That's a big thing. When you trust everyone on the court.
Trust in their system.
I mean, Michael Porter Jr. was calling out the whole fucking team. But after he did that, they went undefeated.
He got put in his place.
Exactly. And he came up with the big 3 at the end of after that next game, he hit a huge 3. And that was his only 3 of the game or something. Yeah, he's going to be a star one day. He's going to be a big star one day.
All right. So we talked about Nuggets and Lakers. Time for the heavy hitter. Heat versus Celtics. First, let's recap Game 1.
All right, I'll give you the recap here because I'll tell you what really happened here. So,
whoa. I don't want any...
listen, I'll give you the full truth of what happened.
I want nothing but the truth.
Celtics up double digits going into the 4th quarter, and they blew it.
That's it? You're not going to give any more?
I mean, you want to hear
I want to hear the gory details.
All right, so from the jump, Celtics go off to a good lead. They're chilling.
Yeah.
Of course, the Heat come back. But then Celtics go on their run. It's a game of runs. Everyone goes on a run.
It was a game of runs. Back and forth.
So Celtics up 12, I believe, going into the 4th. And when Kemba's not hitting his shots and they have to rely on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it's just not as successful as when everyone's doing well and they're all playing together. Because then, if you notice, at the end of the 4th quarter and pretty much all of overtime, I think they ran 2 plays, and the 2 plays they ran, they both scored on. Everything else was just straight isolations between Kemba and Jason, which they're both good isolation players, but when Kemba's not hitting his shots, and Tatum obviously can't make every shot he takes. So
Tatum, you're not going to blame this loss on Tatum?
I'm not blaming this loss on Tatum.
Who do you blame it on? Kemba?
If I had to blame it on anyone, I'd blame it on Kemba and then Brad Stevens, to be honest, because Brad Stevens wasn't calling the plays either. They did not run they probably ran 1 or 2 plays in overtime, and it was when they got a 4-0 lead to start the overtime. They were up 110 to 106 in the first minute of overtime, and then started running straight ISO ball, and everything went downhill from there.
by the end of the fourth quarter, I believe Tatum had barely 20 points.
Oh, Tatum was going off, though. I think he finished with around 30, but
not before overtime.
Yeah.
At the end of the fourth. I'm pretty sure he had
I think he had 20. I think he had 20 something. But
he was breaking in the fourth quarter, bro.
That's another thing. And
air ball.
He had a chance to win the game too.
Yeah.
That he didn't hit.
Bro, but he almost recovered that and it hit the rim. Like it was a good close shot.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing,
if he makes that, we're having a different conversation. Right?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Definitely. The other thing is though, the Heat also came up huge. Less than a minute left. They're down 5. I think Tyler Hero made the first 3.
Oh my God. We gotta talk about him.
Tyler Hero's been coming up clutch.
He's a beast.
But he made a contested 3, and then Jimmy made another contested 3 after to put them up 1. And then there was obviously that foul call, which gave the Celtics 1 free throw. But
that's the thing about the 3-point era. It's like there could be a 6-point swing in 2 possessions.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
9-point swing.
Because going into that final minute, as a Celtics fan, I thought one more stop and the game's over. Well, we didn't get the stop. And then we didn't score, and they got the ball back, and just like that, they took the lead in a span of 45 seconds.
Everything fell apart for you guys.
Yeah, and we honestly got lucky about that foul call, too.
Oh, yeah.
In the final seconds of the fourth quarter.
Wait,
just to tie it up, because it was before the ball was inbounded, so they got a free throw out of it.
So, in overtime, you're going to have to jog my memory, because I don't really remember how that game ended. The last possession.
This guy just wants to talk about the Bam block.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Says it like he
that was the greatest block of the year.
All right. People are saying
that was the greatest block of the year.
People are saying that's the greatest block of the playoffs all time.
Oh, it was.
No, because here's the thing. I don't know if anyone's forgotten, but there was a Game 7 between the Cavs and the Warriors where LeBron just has a crazy chase down block with a minute to go. And for some reason, I feel like everyone's forgetting about that.
Yeah, well, everyone knew that game was rigged.
No. How?
No, I'm just playing. I do not think that's the greatest playoff block of all time, Bam's block. But however, I do think it was one of the best defensive efforts we've seen in this year's playoffs.
All right, yeah, in this year's playoffs, but that was incredible. The fact that
Tatum was going to slam it, and he
I know. That would have been a crazy dunk. But the thing is, I don't know how people are. I saw this thing on Twitter today. I think Bleacher Report posted it, and it was like, which one is the best playoff block of all time? It was Bam's. LeBron against the Warriors, LeBron on Thiago splitter in 2013 or 14, whatever it was. And then I forget what the last one was, something irrelevant. But the fact that Bam's block is even being mentioned, I feel like
it's not a Game 7. It's not an elimination game. It's the first game in the series.
Exactly. It's 0-0 in the series.
The stakes aren't high.
Like, yeah, it's overtime. Yeah, it's the Eastern Conference Finals, but like. And it also sets the tone of the series, and it has me extremely nervous for tonight's game. But at the same time, if Andre Iguodala makes that shot in Game 7, the layup that LeBron doesn't block, say that goes in, it's a completely different game. Completely different. Everything's different because the Warriors didn't score in the last few minutes of that game because they didn't know what the fuck. My bad. They didn't know what they didn't know what to do. They couldn't get anything offensively in the half court, so then Curry just started chucking up threes, and everyone on the Cavs was playing D. Kevin Love clamped up Curry at the end of that Game 7, heavy. And they just didn't know what to do. And obviously that gave the Cavs the ball back and a chance for Kyrie to make a big shot.
And then Kyrie Irving bailed out LeBron's legacy.
All right. I wouldn't say bailed out because I don't think the Warriors were scoring after that block, to be honest.
LeBron's booty. He saved LeBron.
It was a clutch shot.
Same thing Ray Allen did. LeBron is getting saved over and over and over again.
Yeah, but at the same time,
who's gonna do it this year, AD?
At the same time, they're not in any of those positions without LeBron.
Yeah, I'm kind of just trolling when I say that. I'm not a fan of people who make that argument where it's like LeBron doesn't mean his legacy is trash. Like if Ray Allen misses that shot, like all that, like because like LeBron put them in the situation in the first place.
Exactly, and he set them up for a chance to be able to make that shot or have that play.
You know who did save LeBron's legacy, though?
Oh.
Chris Bosh.
Think Chris Bosh saved LeBron's legacy.
He's got that O-rib. Got the rebound.
I mean, yeah, it's Chris Bosh. Did do the dirty work for that.
All right. We're getting sidetracked.
All right, but anyway, hopefully Celtics win this game tonight. The thing is, Gordon Hayward's doubtful to play, so I don't think he will. But if they go down 0-2, I think he's definitely playing Game 3, and I think he's going to be the X factor in the series. Because it's clearly shown by Boston that they need one other person. And I sent this to Devin yesterday, and all the Celtics losses, one was by 7, 2 were by 3, and one was by 1. That's all their losses in the playoffs. And I believe if they have Gordon Hayward right now, I'm not saying they're undefeated in the playoffs, but they definitely could be because that's a big swing right there when you have your fourth option who's averaging 17, 18 points a game. That's huge. That's huge. Keep in mind he's also a good defensive player.
Yeah.
So.
Thing is, Hayward, like, the Heat and Celtics are very, like, balanced teams.
Yeah, I feel like
they're very similar and
evenly matched up. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you add Tatum, that would tip the scale.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, if the Heat go up 2-0 tonight, next game is a must win.
I think tonight's a must win.
I
mean, it's not a must win, but
you obviously want to win this game.
I feel like
it's not the end of the world. It's not over.
Yeah, I feel like tonight definitely changes the series as well.
Like if you go down 3-0, like say they win tonight.
If it's 3-0, it's game over. But I feel like the Celtics are going to come out with a different type of energy tonight. I think Kemba's going to have a big game. I think Jaylen Brown's going to have a big game too. And then I think they're all going to have a big game tonight. I think Celtics win tonight.
My bracket's busted, but the Celtics are my only hope to get something right.
Mm-hmm. And I do think they win tonight. I think tonight everyone's going to play well. And also, Celtics going to have Daniel Tice in overtime.
Really? Did he foul out?
Yeah, he fouled out. They were just running. They tried to do a small ball lineup where Tatum was the biggest man on the floor, and they ran Wanamaker with Smart, Kemba, and Brown and Tatum. But that's the other thing. You can't switch everything with Kemba and Wanamaker out there. If you have Hayward out there instead of Wanamaker, then Kemba's the only one you can't switch everything with because they can all guard everything pretty much. Mm-hmm. So,
can we talk about how much Daniel Tice has done for the Celtics?
Dude, let me tell you something. I wasn't really.
You need to buy a Daniel Tice jersey.
Yeah,
it's like 5.
I got the jersey collection for everyone out there, but I wasn't the biggest fan of Daniel Tice. And
I wouldn't have been either.
He has completely shut me up in the playoffs. I've been saying Celtics centers are always weak, blah, blah, blah. They need a new big. I mean, yeah, they can obviously still get an upgrade, but Daniel Tice has played well on the defensive and offensive end.
I'll be honest, before this season, I had never even heard of Daniel Tice.
A lot of people haven't. He was Al Horford's backup. Uh-huh. That's how I thought of it last year.
And I'll be seeing all these, I'll be watching these late Celtics games late in the game, and Daniel Tice is putting the team on his back.
Yeah, he's coming up huge. Also, Robert Williams is doing work.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing really well right now. I think he's helping himself out for the future right now. I think this is just going to lead to a ton of minutes next year for him. So,
but Tice, man, I say he's underrated as a center in the NBA right now.
He's also small as a center, too. He's still doing really good.
He's athletic, too. He can get up.
Mm-hmm. He blocks a lot of shots. That's the thing. I've never seen so many blocks for the Celtics in years. Yeah. Everyone, the defense has been incredible. Even against Miami. Miami was making tough shots in game 1. Tough shots. The defense was still really good. Yeah, obviously, there was a span where they were like, holy shit, what am I watching right now? But for the most part, they've actually had really good defense. I think they were saying the number 1 most defensive efficient team this postseason in the bubble. So
Miami was in a really good rhythm most of that game.
That's the other
crazy shots.
Outside of the first quarter, Miami was hitting a lot of shots, and Jay Crowder is playing on another level right now, not missing anything.
Celtics played worse than usual. He played better than
exactly.
Usual, I think that's what we can chalk it up to.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that game goes tonight.
Yeah, let's hope the Celtics pull that one out.
Let's hope.
Moving on. We're going to talk about the all-NBA teams that just came out yesterday. First off, we got the first team with Harden, Luka, Giannis, LeBron, and AD. What are our thoughts on that?
I have to agree with every single selection on here. The only one that I'm like, yeah, AD. Like, really? I could give him the X, but I'm not going to dispute it. I think the experts know a little bit more than me. But I've always been saying AD is underrated. He's a really great player, and I'm glad he's getting some recognition this year.
Most definitely, yeah. I think all of them are definitely first team caliber players.
There's nothing to be said about Harden. There's nothing to be said about Giannis. There's nothing to be said about LeBron. Yeah, those three are great.
Think about it. Harden, he had 30 plus. Luka had 28, 29 this year in his second year in the league. played out of his mind.
He almost had a 30-point triple-double.
Exactly. Giannis and LeBron are the MVP frontrunners, and AD is a first or second option, depending on the night.
And he's still freak of nature.
Still
like
average 26. Exactly.
And he can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
He can shoot better than Giannis.
Definitely. He's the perfect star to go along with LeBron.
The controversy about the All-NBA teams was there wasn't much surrounding the first team.
Second team and the third team.
And the snubs. So I'll read off the second team right here. We got Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam, and Nikola Jokic. What do you think of this team?
Pascal Siakam. It's just funny when it pops up. That's just funny when it pops up on the second team that Pascal Siakam is there over some of these
people. He's not a second team player.
Because, he did average 22, 23 this year, but wow. I didn't watch many Raptors regular season games outside of when they were on national television or when they played the Celtics, but it just showed in the playoffs that he is such a not a half-court player. You put him in the post, he's got no clue what he's doing. One-on-one, he's got no clue what he's doing. He's such an inconsistent half-court player. It's really transition points that gets him.
You know who should have been second team over him?
Jason Tatum.
Nick Nurse. Yeah, Nurse is the reason they got all this.
That's the thing. Nick Nurse, literally, I feel like Siakam is such like a system player.
He's overrated.
Like, dude, if you put Siakam on like the Wizards, like even as like the main person by far, he's going down to like 18, 17 points a game.
Oh,
100%. I just don't think Siakam is like that in the half court.
Nick Nurse keeps the Raptors moving like a well-oiled machine.
Definitely.
And just that creates opportunity.
Nick Nurse is the key to their success. I mean, even against the Celtics, they were still in the series because of Nick Nurse. All those defenses that the Raptors were throwing at the Celtics, they didn't know what to do. They melted. And that's why I won 7 games. I mean, Anna Hoobie hit a crazy 3.
Yep.
And some stuff happened.
That was insane, bro. My heart sank when that went in. But anyways, that's in the past.
Yeah, they're not there without Nick Nurse. All right. Yeah. Anyway, Jason Tatum should be 100% second team instead of Siakam. I didn't say 100% second team, but
slow your roll, buddy.
All right, so here's my problem with the second team and the third team. I believe Jason Tatum or Russell Westbrook should have been second team over Siakam and maybe Chris Paul.
I agree with the Russ take. I don't agree with Tatum. I think
here's the thing: Tatum was going off. He had a obviously all-star beginning
for 1 month.
No, for the whole season he was an all-star, and then
what were you about to say?
February he turned up MVP numbers.
Wait, February, what's that? February. 1 month out of a 7-month season.
Well, it's not a. If you think about it, it wasn't a 7-month season. Then
That's true.
Half of October, November, December, January. So 3.5 months. He was playing at an all-star level. And then at the most crucial part of the year, February, March, April, which is
That's true.
Months,
it is the most crucial part of the year.
He would continue that through April and then through the playoffs. I just believe that he was averaging 30. He was balling against all the stars. Double OT against the Clippers, winning that. Doing so good against the Lakers. I think they got gypped out of that win, to be honest.
You know who else was playing very well towards the end of the regular season?
Who?
Russell Westbrook.
That's what I'm saying. That's also why he is.
The thing is, you can't swap in a front court for a back court.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're making these first teams. They're making these all NBA teams. They're making them positionless. Look at the first team. There's not a single center on there.
Yeah,
they're counting Harden and Luka as the guards.
3 backcourt.
Yeah, and AD's not a center.
I think they should do away with that system entirely.
Make it positionless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100% positionless.
Mm-hmm.
But Damian Lillard, I don't disagree with. I could even see him going first team if the league wasn't so stacked with talent right now.
Yeah, if there was anyone from second team who would go to first team, I definitely think it would be Lillard.
Yeah. Or maybe Kawhi. Some people could make that. Or Jokic.
Yeah. But Chris Paul, he had a really good season. Excuse me. Yeah, he had a really good season, but the numbers just aren't there for me. If you look at his numbers, they're just not.
His impact goes past the numbers, Steve.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're talking individual awards here for all NBA teams.
Hey, as a point guard, wouldn't you want your efforts to be recognized and have people acknowledge that your contributions go past the stat sheet?
But here's the thing. His contributions definitely go past the stat sheet, and I can put him on the third team.
And he was one of the most clutch players this year.
Yeah, but for him to be on the second team ahead of some of these other names here, that's what I don't see.
Ahead of who, Russ?
Russ and Tatum, those are the 2 names. I think should be second team. I don't have a problem with him being all NBA. I just think it should be third team.
I am 100% on board with Chris Paul being ahead of Russell. And here's why. Chris Paul when he was traded, when Chris Paul was traded to OKC, so Chris Paul, when he was traded to OKC, Houston shelled out everything for Russ. You know? And I'm thinking, Russ, they thought he was the guy in OKC. He did everything, literally, assists, scoring, rebounds. And then Chris Paul comes here. He's thought of the lesser player. He doesn't have Paul George. And he's just alone with this rebuilding roster that's destined to be like a 10 seed. But what he does blew my mind. Like, how did that happen?
All right, yeah, but here's the thing. Let me tell you this. So Russ averaged 27 a game. I think Chris Paul averaged 18. And yeah, Chris Paul went through some stuff in OKC, a rebuilding roster. But at the same time, the Rockets were rebuilding a whole system. He still put up numbers, and he did well.
I think that's because Russ benefits from the Rockets' new system.
Even with a new system, it takes some time to get used to.
That's true.
Especially when it's that big and you don't have a center in there, and PJ Tucker's your center, it's a whole different team at that point.
But Chris Paul was on a whole new team too.
Exactly. Yeah, but
Russ both were in new situations.
Russ put up better numbers.
And I think Chris Paul, you can only care so much about the player's individual accomplishments. I think Chris Paul, he flourished more than Russ in a system Russ has been in for years. And in 1 year did more than Russ has ever done.
Yeah, but you say he's been in that system for years, but
not individually, but for the team.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like it's always different because Russ only had a few years where he didn't really have a star, and he still did do well. And he won an MVP without a star in the Oklahoma City system.
But how does team do in the playoffs?
How did Chris Paul's team do in the playoffs?
Hey, man. They took him to 7.
First round exit?
They took him to 7.
There you go, though.
Russ ain't be doing that.
Yeah, but at the same time, each year when you look at it, when did they lose? First round. Second round. That's true. But yeah, they take him to 7 games. Yeah, it was a good series. He had a good year, but at the same time,
won that series.
At the same time, I don't know.
It was a bounce and a dribble away from OKC winning.
A bounce and a dribble away from OKC winning. All right, well, the Rockets, in my opinion, were a center away from winning.
The Celtics? Or the Rockets were a center?
The Rockets if they had a decent center with that roster, even with the play style of Russell Westbrook and James Harden, I feel like with a decent center, I think Clint Capella was a decent center too. I think they would have made it past 5 games with the Lakers.
Let's talk about
Capella. I think that's going at least another game, maybe 7.
Let's talk about the Rockets for a hot second. What?
D'Antoni out of there now.
Yep, he's got the boot, but James Harden came out and said they're one piece away. So, this is my question. Who is that one piece?
It was Clint Capella.
I know who I think it is.
Who do you think it is?
Nikola Vucevic.
Really? From the Orlando Magic. I can see him departing to go to Houston. He's a good center too. He's putting up numbers against the Bucks.
And he's splashing threes all day.
All right, yeah, that's that.
That could
the
be
piece is definitely the center, though. The piece is definitely the center.
They just need front court. That's about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Strong front court players who can knock down an open 3.
Also, what's the system going to be like without D'Antoni? Because I feel like that was kind of. I don't know. No, they're going to hire. No, I think. That's a good question, though.
They might go for Doc.
I don't think so. I think they're going to keep Doc. Doc is actually a good coach. But
I think he's one of the greatest coaches of all time.
He needed to step up. He needed to step up. If you just watch the game a couple nights ago, he's sitting on the bench in the fourth quarter when they're down 8. You got to be up and going. You got to be giving them energy when they don't have any. You know what I mean?
He wasn't leading them. He was just sitting back.
And that's the problem because Kawhi is a silent leader. And if your head coach is also a silent leader, then there's also no talking going on.
Really. And you're stuck with PG 13%.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I think they'll get a good coach out of there. 100%.
You think the Clippers will get a good new head coach?
No, they're keeping Doc. Doc's a good coach. They need Doc. Doc is the best option that they have.
Bro, they had Doc. Doc didn't do shit.
Yeah, Paul George. Thank you very much. All right.
Third team?
Third team, I don't see.
I like Ben Simmons on the third team.
The thing is, though, Rudy Gobert over Embiid.
Rudy Gobert over Adebayo.
You can make a point for Adebayo as well.
Who's the better center in the league right now? Embiid or Adebayo?
Embiid, 100%. No doubt in my mind.
You're bugged?
No.
Bro, Embiid's injured every night.
No. He played 50 games this year in a shortened season. Okay?
Yeah, and they suck.
That wasn't his fault, though. He put up his numbers.
Still, bro, it's about your team.
Al Horford. Yeah, at the same time, it's about the team, but this is individual awards.
Embiid,
and that's what bothers me because this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the 15 best players in the league for that season.
Yep. I think Adebayo is better than Embiid, straight up.
Tell me how, please. Embiid is better offensively.
Who's the better shooter?
I got Embiid.
Oh. No.
Shooting?
Who's a better shooter?
Embiid.
Bro, you don't see, dude, you're joking.
Embiid?
You're joking.
Embiid also, I feel like Embiid also shoots more than Adebayo. Yeah, look it up.
All right, we're looking at Basketball Reference right now. First, we're going to look at Adebayo.
Look him up. Let's see what his shooting percentage is.
So this season, get this out of here. What the hell?
Go up.
Oh, yeah.
Field goal percentage, 55. That's 3-point percentage right there? 14%. What I'm saying.
Bro, I can't see his. All right, here's the stats I wanted. Okay. So for the 2019 season,
14% Adebayo shot. Embiid is a much better shooter.
Is horrible.
Exactly. Embiid is horrible. Embiid is a much better
where's
shooter.
His attempts? 5.3 a game, shooting 14%.
That's free throws, though.
Right here? Nah. Where? I thought I just saw 3-point attempts.
Oh, right.
Oh, right here? 0.2 a game.
Yeah, he doesn't even shoot that many. That's what I'm saying. Embiid is definitely the better shooter, 100%. Look up Embiid's numbers.
Dude, I thought
it's not that
was wet.
Embiid's like shooting numbers aren't that crazy, but he's a better shooter than Adebayo.
It's not going to be hard to beat. Fucking damn.
33% from three this year.
Oh my God, bro. Embiid is wet.
For a center, and he also is trying to take less threes, though.
I want to take a deep dive into his stats, though. I want to see his plus minus. That's like the advanced stats, though, right?
You might be able to find it on here.
Embiid doesn't get enough offensive rebounds.
Yeah, but at the same time, he also is down there with another body.
That's true. Ben Simmons be feasting on the boards.
Exactly, and they're not even shooting threes like that, so it's hard for him to get long rebounds offensively.
Yeah, that's true. So let me ask you this: Who, out of Adebayo and Embiid, who's more athletic?
Adebayo.
Correct.
Yeah, he's definitely more athletic.
Who's younger and less prone to injury?
Adebayo. It's not like Embiid's old though.
He's still in the playoffs.
Adebayo.
Sir,
you put Adebayo on the Sixers and Embiid on the Heat. Who's still in the playoffs?
Sixers. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, the Heat.
But
exactly.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
You just flip where they're at. The Heat are in the playoffs because of Adebayo. They're still in the playoffs because of Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra.
So you're saying Adebayo's impact is little to none?
No, he's still the second best player on the team.
Thank you.
But if you put Embiid on that team,
you think they're better? You think they take a big leap?
Definitely. Most definitely.
I still got Adebayo over Embiid.
No, I don't.
I think his defensive presence is more impactful, and that's why it led them to winning more games. Defense wins games.
Yeah,
but Embiid is lazy on defense.
Yeah, but Embiid is also putting up buckets.
He
can't
not as active as Adebayo.
He also can't play that many. Like, he can't go all out on defense as much as Adebayo does because he has to do more on offense. Adebayo doesn't have to do as much on offense, so he can relax a little bit on that end. Without Embiid's offense, the Sixers are nothing.
Adebayo is also a great passer, though.
It's not that hard to pass, though.
Oh my God!
You gotta make your own move.
On the bone.
Embiid is one-on-one scoring almost every single time. That's all of his energy. Adebayo isn't one-on-one straight to the basket every time. That's just not his game. He's more of a pick and roll, maybe post up and pass, but he's not. It's not like he's isolation all the time like Embiid is. Embiid is posting up, having to get buckets And I hate the Sixers, and I'm saying
Me too.
And Embiid is better than Adebayo. He has to do more for that team. That's why he can't go He can't go all out on the. If he went all out on the defensive end like Adebayo does,
you would have a torn ACL.
He'd be gone in a second. Yeah. He'd be on the freaking ventilator right now, breathing or whatever it's called. Like, I don't know. Also, how is Bradley Beal not on an All NBA team? This guy is a bucket.
Well, his team is trash.
But he is a bucket. It's an individual award. He is a bucket. He deserves to be on. First off, he wasn't even an All-Star, so that's ridiculous.
You know where he's going to be next year?
You think he's going to the Nets?
I don't want him to go to the Nets.
You don't want him to go to the Nets?
No, but I think he will.
Why do you not want him to go to the Nets?
I don't want him to go to the Nets because I want to see how our team plays with a healthy Kevin Durant, a healthy Kyrie Irving, and our core. I want to keep the core the same because I think we don't need a third piece. Like, I want to see how we play without a third piece.
So you're saying you're more like the Lakers?
Like, yeah. I want to wait until the trade deadline before we make a decision.
All right, yeah, but here's the thing. With the Nets, Dinwiddie's going to be gone. He, already stated it pretty much.
That's not sense.
He said he's going to whatever team the fans want him to.
And the fans gave him, 2 Bitcoin. I think he's staying. I think we're re-signing.
I don't know.
We might not.
And the other thing, what if Karras doesn't like being the third star?
Why would Karras not like being the third star?
Why would Kyrie not want to be on a Celtics team with a bunch of young stars? You don't know. What if Karras doesn't want to be the third star?
Wait, so you're saying Karras? The thing you're saying right now is, what if Karras doesn't want to be the third star?
I'm saying a what if, because Karras is the third star.
What if? So you're saying
it's a what if?
What if? All right, I'll tell you what if.
Then do you want to trade him for Bradley Beal?
I think then we trade Karras for LeBron James.
The thing about having Bradley Beal, that opens up everything. Because he's a better shooter than Karras and Dinwiddie, 100%.
Agreed.
So Kyrie and KD can run their offense, whatever they need to do. And then Brad Beal will be there to shoot and also get a bucket when he needs to. But that's a 3-headed monster of scorers.
Karras is a scorer, bro. I watched almost every Nets game. Karras he can get to the rim like no one else.
But not like Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is a top scorer in the league. Look at his numbers, 30 a game.
Karras is kind of like a baby Bradley Beal in the idea that he can just...
So do you want the baby one in the prime of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, or do you want a better version during the prime
of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving? Here, I'll tell you...
Because let me tell you this, though.
Go ahead.
If KD and Kyrie don't stay, then it's good to have Karras. But if they do stay after their contract, Karras is gone.
I want Karras to stay with the Nets for his whole career, bro. Karras had a 51-point triple-double on who? The Boston Celtics.
We're not going to talk about that one right now.
We're going to talk about it all right.
Moving on to the next subject here. Also, Devin Booker is always a snub of everything. They just don't like him in the NBA.
I mean, it's the same argument for Beal. He's on the Suns. Shit team.
Same thing with Trae Young.
And Trae. Brandon, though. I like you putting Brandon.
All right, so this was my 5 snubs. Trae Young, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Brandon Ingram, and Joel Embiid. Brandon Ingram, 23. Yeah, he was most improved, but 23 points a game. That's pretty good. Especially because they were in contention for a spot. If they had Zion the whole year, they were making it.
That's the thing. Exactly. If they had Zion the whole year, it's a different outlook on playoffs. Yeah. But they honestly didn't. I like your snub list, though. I have to say I agree with almost every single one. And even the ones I don't completely agree with, I can still see it.
Exactly.
All right. Our 5th and final topic for today. What's next for the Toronto Raptors?
Might be time to blow it up.
It's time to hit the nuke. It's time to drop the nuke.
Lowry might be out.
Dude, Lowry is fat.
Get him out. All right, well, here's the thing. We got Van Vliet, Ibaka, and Gasol are all free agents. Gasol didn't play well in that series against the Celtics, but Ibaka and Van Vliet played all right, but Ibaka came up huge in a lot of games.
Yep.
So here's the thing.
They definitely. This reminds me. Let's just flash back to the Nets conversation. I think if we're going to trade for anyone this offseason, trade for Ibaka. Not trade for Ibaka. Sign Ibaka.
Sign Ibaka. I could see that.
He's boys with Kevin, and he can knock down an open 3.
Yeah. Have you seen how
we need defense?
How hungry are you by Serge Ibaka?
I'm a big fan, Serge. If you're listening,
Kevin Durant was eating some snake.
Oh yeah, he fed him the snake. Yeah. He made him cannibalize.
He ate the snake. He ate himself. All right. Anyway, continue what you're saying.
I'm thinking we better trade for Ibaka, or not. I keep saying trade. I mean sign Ibaka. He's a free agent. He is maybe one of the most valuable front court players in the league right now.
I don't know if you guys have the money for that, though, because you signed DeAndre Jordan.
And we're going to have to give a bag to Joe Harris.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Van Vliet's going to want the bag as well. So I don't know if the Raptors are going to be able to keep Van Vliet, keep Ibaka. Either Ibaka or Gasol is gone. It's probably Gasol. I think Ibaka's better, but Ibaka might want to be out too. So I don't know.
Out of Van Vliet, Ibaka, Gasol, and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, who's a free agent, I see the Raptors keeping 2 of them, if not less. I don't see them keeping 3 or 4 of them.
All right, let me give you a hot take here. If Van Vliet is gone, this is Kyle Lowry's last year as a Raptor.
Is this the last year of his contract?
I'm not sure, but even if it's not,
he'll get traded.
Yeah.
But who wants a fat point guard who can't shoot?
It depends what they're giving up with the other team. Like, they might get a good deal from another team. Like, say it's like a playoff team or something.
What if the Lakers?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They just hand him over. They just hand him over a bunch of picks, like something like that. Because without Van Vliet, the Raptors are, I'd say, a first-round exit.
The Raptors, I think, should just hit the rebuild button and keep Siakam, build around Siakam.
Yeah, because to be honest, they're not winning anything anytime soon.
Build around Siakam until they have the chance at a good free agent.
Yeah.
Because Siakam can't be your first.
And also, if you're dropping a bag on Van Vliet, like, you can get better players for more money. So at the same time, why would you want to waste, like, say, like $100 million over 4 years for fucking Van Vliet?
Like, Van Vliet can just go to a playoff team now and add value to that.
Bro,
the Raptors don't need that.
Van Vliet is such a Terry Rozier.
You think?
Like, Terry Rozier got put in a good position with the Celtics when Kyrie and Gordon Hayward were out. Then he started going off because he was, like, one of the main options with a rookie Jason Tatum, second year Jaylen Brown. You put Rozier in there, he was a good player. He averaged, 18 a game in the playoffs? Van Vliet averages 20-something. I mean, Van Vliet's probably better. He's a better scorer. Terry's better on defense. So he's probably something like that. He got 4 years, $64 million in Charlotte, but he'll get a bigger bag than that. I think he'll get, I think he'll get
more than 64.
I think he'll get 80 plus over 4. To be honest.
Who's taking him though?
That's a good question because that's the thing. Like, he's not going to be a star on whatever team he goes to.
I can see him going to the West.
Yeah, so can I. I don't know. I just feel like his place in the league is like, it's got to be on the Raptors.
You know who I think should sign him?
Who?
Minnesota.
If
they get some people. Minnesota, they've got that pick, which they're probably going to trade away. I'd trade it away if I was them.
Cat, D'Lo.
They're going to be a threat next year, I think.
You think they should trade away the pick?
They can assemble. I feel like right now, what they have is like a scattered puzzle. And if they can bring in some more puzzle pieces, and then this summer, or whatever the offseason is, it's not the summer anymore, this winter, put all those pieces together in the right way, I think they can be a legitimate threat, like a top 7 seed in the West.
That's the thing with Minnesota, though. They always
have good expectations and don't.
Even with Jimmy Butler, like, I thought that was going to work. Cat, Jimmy, and Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins didn't do shit.
Wiggins sucks. Now that he's gone, I think they must be looking up to them.
I think Wiggins is going to be good on the Warriors.
Me too. I think he'll fit in that system.
The Warriors are looking to be nice. Do the Warriors trade their pick?
Not yet. But they are.
Do you think they will?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Warriors always be finessing with trades.
Yeah. A lot to expect in the upcoming months.
Yes, sir. It's
during the season
nicely.
And during the off season. It's going to be a very busy winter, a very busy fall, even without basketball.
To talk about.
Got a lot. Not the best free agency, but there's still some out there.
Yeah. It's not like, I think we're spoiled because last year's free agency was just nuts.
Yeah. When you got superstars like Kawhi and AD just going off.
Yeah.
Then
we'll see what happens. So, things to look forward to for next episode. We got Celtics game tonight.
We got obviously more basketball.
And
then there is a huge UFC fight coming up.
Banger of a fight on the 26th.
So, just doing our research, find a few more information about that, and then
expect
some picks.
Episode.
Oh, we're going to release our picks about the fight, our predictions, who we got. It's going to be crazy.
There's going to be a pre-fight episode and the post-fight episode.
Most definitely.
And, yeah, I hope you guys tune back in. If you watched to the end, thanks for supporting.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
Hopefully Celtics get the dub.
Yes, sir. Peace out.